So number 4 is reward and recognition. Now, this sounds like an obvious one, but I just give some real tips on reward and recognition. It was really important for me that we rewarded good behavior, no matter how small it was. So a little tip, there's a system called People HR, which we use as our HR system. Very cheap, very low level, all mobile based, really nice little system. On there, it had the equivalent of like a Facebook wall where you could send thanks to each other for things that had happened. So it may be a customer champion badge, or it may be, I don't know, an extra helpful badge, whatever. Whenever any of those badges were sent, or whenever a customer wrote to us with the most basic compliment to somebody, we give a 50 quid voucher every single time. Wow. So basically consistently rewarding the positive messages that were coming in. I remember a guy called Barry Strong, he may watch this. He would always go and help people. He was in an office and he'd go and like do office moves or move chairs around and stuff. And people would say, "Oh, thanks, Baz. That's really helpful of you." He's like, "You wouldn't mind just dropping me an email, would you?" And he had like 7 or 8 of them. He's getting 50 quid every time. I was like, "Barry, I think you've worked out my system here." But actually, that is really good at just consistently rewarding behaviour in a really small way. And 50 quid to a lot of people in a voucher is a great load of money. And actually, you know what? The reality is of 50 quid, some weeks that might have been able to be able to get extra food shopping or be able to pay their heating bill or whatever. It really mattered. And I know we went on to grow this big business, but never forget about the little people that actually it's important to them. All this stuff is. As it was, if my family ever got a 50 quid voucher at Christmas, or my dad's company used to give him a turkey. On Christmas, they gave him a literal turkey. So there's that. And then the rewards actually go up a little bit now. So I ran this thing where if you, I ran this thing, I went to the board and I said, I want to give people the chance that if they find a new contract for us that's over £200,000 a year and we convert it and we have it for 6 months, I'm going to give them a £10,000 check. And the board said no. Charlie said no. So Charlie, I'm going to do it anyway, right? This is my business. I'm going to get on with it. It's like, well, you can do it, but you're never going to give away a 10 grand check. We gave away 2. So we did it twice. Once to a woman called Emma and another guy called Nick. And that £20,000 that we paid out to those 2 has given us back 10 million in revenue. Jesus. In the time that the business has been running. 10 million in revenue. And I say to anyone out there, would you pay me 20 grand for 10 million of revenue over like 6 or 7 years? It's a no-brainer, right? Now, Emma, I think she went to Disneyland, Orlando Disneyland, and Nick, he paid off a load of debt. It was such a stress reliever for them to be able to do it. And I have these beautiful photos. And of course, me being me, I got a huge comedy check made, and I got on both occasions. And I used to run managers' days where I had all the management team together every 6 months or so. And there's maybe, say, 50 people in a room. Now, Emma, what happened with her was somebody on LinkedIn messaged her and said, "Oh, I think there's this opportunity coming up." And all Emma did was forward me the message. I then sold the contract. She didn't even know anymore after that. And she didn't know we converted it, and she didn't know it'd been 6 months. So we go to this manager's day, and I've got all 50 of them in there. And I'm like, "Everyone, don't forget that we've got this this £10,000 check idea. Just come, you have to find a £200,000 contract." And I left it right till the end. And I said, "Guys, actually, I was lying to you. Somebody has won this this check." And I got them all to do a big drum roll, and no one in the room knew who it was going to be. Wow. And so when we were able to present this check to Emma, and she was just absolutely blown away. Wow. And Emma was only quite small, so the check was actually bigger than she was, which there's some brilliant pictures of it. Stories like that and rewards like that. Now, look, that didn't cost me anything, because unless Emma, if she hadn't have sent me that LinkedIn message, I never would have got the income. And the income well outweighed the £10,000 check that I then paid her for it. So definitely create some rewards where you can change people's lives. And look, the salary ranges that people are on were like 30, 40K. So 10K check is really a significant thing. And especially if you go and like blow it on a dream holiday or something, that's amazing. Never going to get that opportunity to do it otherwise. So I think with reward and recognition, do that. The other thing I would say in this area is just promote your people, like promote them outwardly. Promote them so much that they have the opportunity to leave you because you've told other people how brilliant they are, but you treat them so well that they stay. So that when other people competitors call them up and go, "Oh, hey, I saw you're in Pareto's campaign for this, that, and the other." They're like, "Yeah, I fucking love it there." And I'm really proud to be on the website and be part of the marketing campaign. And I ran this thing called More Than Just FM, where I had this, it really came back to my mum. I think when my mum was a supermarket worker, like stacking shelves or being on the tills, people would see them as they're just a supermarket worker, or just a cleaner. And in facilities management, because we have cleaners and receptionists and engineers, people would look at them like they were just that role.
Yeah.
When you talk to people, they had amazing lives and they did amazing things outside. And yes, they happen to be a cleaner, but why is that a problem? But that is how society treats those people on low wages. So I started talking to more and more of our team, and I had a chat with a guy called Samuel, who was an engineer at English National Ballet for us. And I started talking to him, and he's, oh, what are you doing on the weekend? He's like, oh, I'm a gospel singer. I play the piano and I sing gospel. I'm like, wow, it's amazing. And he pulls up his YouTube and he's got this like, amazing voice. And I'm like, Samuel, let me take a picture of you playing the piano in tails and like get these lights on you. And the whole campaign was showing that if you turn the rhetoric round and identified people by their passions, you would look at them differently as if you looked at their job. And that's any job, doesn't matter what job you do. You know, because you might be an estate agent or a car salesman and people are going to have views about who you are. And we promoted the shit out of those people on our socials because we just wanted to show that we love them and that they were part of our business. And also because what we sold was people services to organizations, we were able to then show them that we loved our people and we could take their people on and love them as well. So yeah, every time we took on new contracts, we tried to get someone in to do the more than just campaign. But just love them so much that everybody else knows how brilliant they are.
I really love that.
You treat them so well.
You can celebrate internally, but you were celebrating externally
Yes.
for the world.
Yes.
Look at this person. Look at amazing things they are doing here. But look at also what they do in their own personal time and how amazing. And I love the fact that you celebrated that. And I saw some of those pictures in that pack, and it was just it was so nice to read and see some of those stories.
The one I loved, Idris, he was a technical manager for us at ASOS, but he also happened to be a DJ on Croydon FM on Tuesday afternoons. We adapted our job, so every Tuesday afternoon he could go and be a DJ. And he did Afro beats. That was his DJ stuff that he did. Now, the pictures of him are down in a subway looking extremely gangster. And you don't think he's a technical manager, but you're not thinking about that at that stage. You're thinking about just sort of that grimy, graffiti-filled subway that he stood in with the puddles and stuff around him. And it's magic. Yeah. And actually, I just really like that. Just to finish on reward and recognition, the other thing for founders and owners in particular is give some bloody shares away. Like, stop holding all the shares for yourself. Give it away in either an EMI scheme or sometimes called a hope scheme, and a sweet equity deal where you can just give people shares and they only get value at the end, or give away real equity. Give people a chance to come in on the journey with you. If you want to build loyalty in your very senior team, give some of the business away.
Yeah.
80% of something and 20% has gone to another group of people is going to make you a way more valuable business in the future rather than having 100% of everything and not giving anybody else any money. I've always given shares away. And even when we did the last deal, I gave some shares away very last minute to people that hadn't been recognized, but I wanted them to be recognized. So literally giving value away to people at the very end. And they're people that I cared about and people that I thought, actually, we got it wrong by not recognizing you early enough, but you have been critical. So this is my gift to you. And it came out of my pot. I gave my own pot away to be able to do it. And actually, they're people that are still friends of mine now and that we still work together. And I hope to do some business and new business ventures with them in the future. But yeah, get out of your own way, entrepreneurs and founders. Just let someone else have a go as well.
Would you do that early on? So, I mean, because at the beginning, you don't know. You've got this idea and you get these, at the beginning, everyone's in like I call the honeymoon stage still, right? Everyone's in the best behavior. And at what point do you say, actually, this is the person now that needs to be involved in that?
It's a really good question. I'm not sure I know the exact answer to that. What I would say is something like sweet equity, which is usually a pot of about 20% that you gift to people, and they only have that. It only has value if they're there at the end when the business is sold. You can fire people still. You can make them redundant. You can get rid of them. The shares go back in the pot. They don't take it with them. So if you were to set up like a sweet equity scheme, I'm not saying be brutal. I'm just saying set up a scheme and they get, say, 3% of the business or whatever you're going to give to people. If they're still there at the end, well, that's your choice because you didn't get rid of them beforehand. If you're a couple of years in, you're thinking, oh, this just isn't working, you can still dismiss them. Okay. You can still get rid of them. Now, if you give away real equity, obviously that is a different story. That's why sweet equity is such a nice thing to be able to do, because the up to 20% pot is available, whatever you choose the pot to be. If it doesn't all get allocated, you keep it anyway. And it only gets value at the end. And when people leave on their own accord or you dismiss them, they lose the sweet equity as well. So, and actually, before you do it, get some advice, go and speak to your accountant and stuff, because there are tax implications sometimes, depending on where you're at in your business. but I 1000% recommend doing that. And you will get loyalty out of people because they want to be there on the final day when everyone gets their money. And really, money shouldn't always be a motivator, but it certainly helps as you go through.